Welcome to this video, and I'm going to be explaining this code for group 12. Basically, what this code is about is to create a student management system that is going to help us manage students' data. In what way? In adding, displaying, updating, deleting, searching, and sorting, and even exporting the records. So, first of all, what we do, we define the student's data. We define the parameters through which we want to store our data. For example, we are telling the system that the maximum number of students is 100. The maximum characters the name should hold is 50. The maximum data date for the maximum characters the date should hold is 10. The registration number should have a maximum of 6 and program code maximum of 4. But these numbers, of course, they look with an added +1, meaning we are trying to cater for the null terminator. So after that, we create a structure calling it student, where we're going to keep the student name, date of birth, registration number, program code, plus the tuition, which is we are identifying as a float. So after that, we're going to declare the student structure as students and create this parameter called maximum students. So we are identifying that this student's address in the system should contain 100 students. Then we are going to declare a variable called num students, and we're going to give it an initial value of 0. Then we are declaring our functions for adding, displaying, updating students, deleting, searching, sorting by name and registration number, and exporting the records. So we are going to create a menu option, and in this menu option, we are going to prompt the user to give options on which the management system can be used. So we have an option for adding, displaying, updating, deleting, searching, sorting by name and registration number, and exporting the records, after which we have our last option to exit in case we are done using the system. So we're going to enter our choice, and it is going to prompt us to enter our choices. So if you enter choice 1, it will add the student, display of 2, 3, and so on. When you reach the last choice, it's going to prompt you it's going to tell you that you're exiting the program. And how does it do that? We are creating a while loop that while this option, any option you put isn't 9, then it's going to keep on doing this whole iteration and performing all these functions I'm about to explain. Otherwise, if you do 9, it will just return 0 and break the system. So if you put anything else other than these options I've listed, then it will just give you invalid choice and tell you to try again. Then, now we start with the function. So for the adding student, since we already told you that the maximum number of students is 100, it's going to prompt us that if the number of students is less than 100, then it's going to prompt you to enter the name, date of birth, registration number, program code, and annotation. Then it will add the student's data to the list with this ++ function. Then it will tell you student added successfully. Then, or else, if there are more than the maximum number of students, it will tell you maximum number of students reached. Then for displaying the data, for all the students that have ever been added in the system, it will just give you the list of students, and it will give you their name, date of birth, all their details, iterating through all the students that are currently in the database. Or else, if we have no student, it will just tell you no student found. Then for updating, since we are updating, we have to write the registration number. So basically what we are going to do, we're going to prompt you to write the registration number as long as there are no students, as long as there are students in the database. So you write the registration number, and if that registration number is found, it's going to use this function which we get from a library called string.h. So basically what this does is it's going to tell you to enter the new name, new date of birth, new registration number, program code, or tuition. Then it will tell you it has been updated successfully. Or if you give a registration number that doesn't exist, it will tell you that it is not found. Or if there are no students even in the database, it will tell you no student found in the database. Then delete student is also going to do the same thing, prompting you to write the registration number. Then it will get the registration number and look through for that student with that number. Then for every student with that registration number, it is going to do what? It's going to just delete using this function and remove it from the list called num students. Then tell you it has been deleted successfully. Then searching. To search, we are going to use the registration number still. So searching, what happens is it's going to prompt you to enter the registration number to help you search. Then if that registration number exists, it will just display all their details based on their details. Then it returns. Or else if the registration number doesn't exist, it will tell you it is not found. Or if there is no student, it will tell you it's not in the database. Then sorting, it's going to sort by name. So sorting by name and sorting by registration number, what happens is if there are at all students in the database, it's going to iterate through those students, and for each of those students, it is also going to iterate through based on their names. And for the string compilation for the registration name, for the name, since we're sorting by name, it's going to get from the structure, create a pointer called temp, and it's going to clear them to the students, and it's going to rearrange them based on the alphabetical order of their names. Then it's going to just tell you, now what it's going to do, here it is now sorting. Then it's going to tell you didn't sort it by name. Then it is going to tell you to iterate through all the students, but we have rearranged them based on their name. Then it's going to display their name and registration number. Or else, if there are no students, it's just going to tell you no student found in the database. So it's the same process for bubble sort by registration number. Only that it is going to do the same thing, but with registration number data. So it's going to go by numerical order. Then exporting records. First of all, if there are students in the system, we're going to open a file. We are going to use this structure from C called file, and it's going to open a new file called students records.csv. So we're using a CSV file and use this method called RT. So it's just going to keep writing and rewriting data inside there. If at all the file is empty or it's null, it's going to just give us this error. Then, if to prevent cases of repeating data, what happens usually is going to use this bool method. So it's going to use a boolean kind of checking, and it's for iterating through the file. What usually happens is it's going to rewind through the whole file, and it's going to check if that record exists, and it should be false. So each line should contain 256 characters. So it's going to move this pointer from the up to the beginning and iterate through all the students, reading each line and checking for if at all there's a matching record. As long as the line and that size of the line, using this size of the line and this line has the same data and is not equal to null, if at all it's not empty, and if the string, this str method, if that line and their registration numbers are not equals to null, basically what happens is going to tell you that the record exists is true, meaning that that data already exists and it will just break and not add it there. Then if this record does not exist, then it's going to append it at the end of the file and seek up to the end of the file, then print all the data that is not there. Then after